What's up, everybody? What's up? Exo Vendetta here. As always, I do the reviews and I talk about them with honest opinions. And also, I just want to share with you that if you don't agree with anything that I say, or if you think that this video is a little late, I just wanted to wait till after the updates happened to see exactly what was going to be different or new to the game. And I think right now it's about that time that I do the review. Alright, so here we go. First off, I want to start off by saying that I do love Street Fighter V. I have nothing against this game. I still have it. I didn't trade it into GameStop. Didn't get rid of it, give it to nobody. It's still here sitting right next to me. Laying next to me. What the fuck? But anyways, I think the game's great. It's not broken, but it wasn't finished. I think that anybody that has this game or has seen gameplay of it is aware that the game is fun, but it's not finished and polished to the extent that it needs to be. I feel like the game was very rushed at last minute. Now I know they've had years to work on it, but there was a lot of flaws in it, like how they said the update would happen, and then it ended up being all the way till the end of the month of, I think if I'm correct, April. No, March. And it was, how can I put it? It was okay for a while in the beginning, but there wasn't a lot of character selection like there was in the old original Street Fighter 4. And the first one that I played was 4, so I know that they could have added a little bit more of a selection, but I guess they're saving it for DLC. I do want to point out that the feature they added where you could actually use points to purchase maps, characters, and skins and other things of that sort, I think that was also a good thing to implement into the game. Excuse me. But that being said, I still believe that the game had a lot of work to be done on it. I mean, seriously, guys. I mean, the lag, and the lag, that has nothing to do with it. I know that's internet connection, but I mean by like people that do that on purpose online, because I know that people can do that online and cheat with that lag switch or that lag. But another thing that they could have worked on is they should have prepared for a punishment for people who would leave instantly. They should have checked their little cuts and corners and checked where people could cheat at, and they should have fixed it before the game even released. That way there would have been a punishment, people wouldn't complain. Not to mention, the DLC right now, it seems like there's not much there, because these updates keep giving you free characters like Alex and Ghoulie, which is fine, because those are classics, yeah. But that being said, at the same time, I feel like with just these 4 new characters, Nikali, Laura, can't remember the other 2 right now at the moment, but these new characters, they're cool and all, but I want them to add new characters, not just make old characters DLC. I feel like, I think it's about time that they bring back the old roster and bring in new. Like how Mortal Kombat X, for example, does. Like, everyone knows Mortal Kombat, of course. It's a fighter just like Street Fighter. With that game, they added a lot of old characters already to the list. And starting out, it has more characters than even Street Fighter V starting out. And plus, with DLC, it has more characters. What I liked about Mortal Kombat's DLC compared to the DLC here is that they've added, classics, which is fine, just like Mortal Kombat. But you got to admit, Mortal Kombat was way better with adding DLC characters, because they have Alien, Leatherface, Jason. They added all these characters. If you guys remember, and you're not too, forgetful, you'll also remember back when Mortal Kombat 9 was back on PS3 and 360, they released Freddy Krueger. Again, just like vice versa for Street Fighter, I feel like I expect more, and by more I mean different new characters, new different types of maps, not old ones, because I don't want to waste my points on old stuff that should be on there already, instead of getting new characters. And not just with DLC, but I feel like sometimes it takes forever just to join a lobby, as if there's not a lot of people on, but sometimes there is a lot of people on Street Fighter, believe it or not. If you're not a fan, and you're telling yourself right now, or talking to me through the video, saying like you're wrong, there's nobody that plays this gay ass game, you're wrong. There is actually, a lot of the time it's just the game's fault. There's like the servers, they're just, I don't know, it's like it's slow. And And you know, I feel like that's on their fault too, on their end, because I feel like if you're gonna have a game, you should have the servers where they speed up finding a match. I mean, Black Ops 3, that game right there, that game has plenty of times where it takes forever to find a match. I'll give you that. But for example, just like that, it also finds a match instantaneously. And if you heard that, I just snapped. But it's just instantaneously. It's like you're in a match, you're ready to go, you're in the loading screen. But when it's on this game, it's like it takes forever just to join a simple match. You don't even got to be in a lobby like, well, there's this one game mode on here where you're in a, what do you call it? A lobby or something? Babe, what is it called? Where they're like in groups and you can like fight people in the ladder area. Yeah, it's called the lounge. That's right. Yeah, thank you, babe. The lounge. Okay, so it's like this. Even in that matchup, you still take some time to find the right lobby, because some people, you know, procrastinate, and they can kick you, or more or less, basically, it just takes forever just to join a match. Like, you get on this game because people who enjoy games like fighting games like this or MKX join a lobby to fight, and when the slow loading screen pops up, or when the slow battle begins, it's like, it's terrible, especially people who lag in the game. It's like there's a lot of things in the game that just gets on my nerves and irks me, and I feel like that it's on their end, that they should have knew this ahead of time. They've had plenty of years to work on this game. They've had plenty of time. They've had plenty of time to work on these little things, and you wouldn't have thought that they would have actually just, you know, tested it out by going in through the loading screens. Like, did they really think that that was really what they'd call a short loading screen or a short waiting time? I mean, hell, you can actually press the options button, and then when you go to there, you can actually, when you're on the main menu of the game, of course, then what happens is, that's right, you set up your character, you have a selected favorite character, and the reason I give you a favorite character is because you can open up a thing where you're in a waiting lobby, which means you could be out in training mode or something, or just sitting on the dashboard, and it'll instantly notify you that there's a guy wanting to battle you, which is cool. But the battles that I've had to deal with, and the people that I've had to really fight, were like OP'd as hell, and turns out they had to come up with a punishment for it, because then they realized they fucked up, because now there's people try-harding with like cheating in the game, and now there's a punishment for it, and they didn't think of these flaws at all. They didn't think about doing none of that. The loading screen, to the lag, to anybody else, you know, and now they want to create a punishment, which is fine, you know. And I feel like Street Fighter V has a lot of potential, like how they're talking about how they're adding an arcade mode freely, like it's not going to be a second game, like how Street Fighter 4 worked, guys. If none of you are familiar with that, there was actually multiple Street Fighter 4s. And what I mean by that is, there was Street Fighter 4 Ultra, Super Street Fighter 4, the one that we got, babe, was what? Super Street Fighter 4 Ultra? Arcade Edition. That's right. And I really liked that game. I fell in love with it. I liked that there was a lot of characters to select from. I liked the animated look to it. All around, I like the color patterns. And just like how I said there's potential for this game, I think there is, because of the fact that the game is really colorful, bright, clear, fast-paced. It's anything you want in a game, basically. A fighting game, to be more specific, because when I think of a fighting game, I want the screen to be very clear and fast paced, and that's what this game has. That's where they went right with it. They were just trying to give the full experience, but to get to that experience, you gotta go through the loading screen, search for a player, and most of them kick you if you're better than them in a lounge, or sometimes when you're in a game with them, they'll either back out, or they'll just like all of a sudden lag out, and then like they'll be really good at the game. You know, I've noticed that about certain players. It's like there's this little technique that you'll be getting a few good hits, and when they lag, it stops you from getting any hits, and they start hitting you, and you can't keep up with them because they're lagging. And I feel like it's something that they're doing on purpose. You know, I know I sound like a sore loser or somebody that's a noob, but honestly, I really do feel like the lag has a lot to do with it. And if anybody you are saying that does have the game is saying, well, you can change the, you know, power bar connection, you can change it to only playing with people with 5 bars connection or stronger. I agree with you, and even with that, I still get that lag issue. So if you're a real fan of this franchise and you play this all the time, then you know for a fact what I'm talking about. There is people on this game that do lag sometimes, and it's questionable how when they lag, they get so much faster, and they just, I don't know, they learn how to outdo you in a lot of ways. And in the beginning of the match, they didn't do nothing, you know? They lead you on. And that's something that I just picked up on my own. Now, I'm just speaking for myself, yes, of course, so don't take everything I say as a grain of salt. But another thing that they could have taken into consideration for this game is the, okay, well, let's see. I talked about the lack of content, the loading screens, the cheating, and how they didn't even prepare for a punishment for it. Okay, what else could you possibly talk about in a fighting game? Oh, that's right. They should add a character creation. Now, I've been talking about this for a lot of games, so yes, this is why I'm putting it in the review of Street Fighter. I know, Joe, it has nothing to do with the game. That's just your own personal opinion of what you think should be in the game. That shouldn't count against the game. Well, I'm sorry, but it does. If you're going to have a fighter game, it should be like any game like Fallout or any game like GTA. You should create your own character. That would bring more characters. That would bring more creativity to the game. And design your own map, maybe. I think that would be fun. This, Mortal Kombat, any game, it doesn't matter, guys. I think it's time fighting games upgrade a little bit with a character creation idea. And I think that any real fan of fighting games would agree with me so much on this idea and topic. Guys, come on now. We need to make it happen. So Capcom, if you're watching this, I doubt you will, but if you do, please consider that in the next game, or maybe add this as a side feature for this game. You know, because it would be really worth it. And I think anybody else, if they thought about the idea and put it in their imagination, they would see that that would be a good idea. I know you're probably looking at the screen right now and thinking, that's true. And some of you are thinking, no, that's stupid. But that's my review so far. That's all I can say about Street Fighter, guys. I wish I had more time. But anyways, I hope you guys really enjoyed the video and loved it. And like I said before, EXO out.